okay, I'm doing this now because I've just gotten back from the gym and I need to have a rant and I need to get this out because I think there are some people who have to work for themselves right now who will appreciate this. Even though I do technically contract for another company. And this is the thing. Here is the thing. We have a new client, we have a new format. So now the client has bumped up deadlines twice with no notice. So literally, like something was supposed to be due on a Monday. And then all of a sudden it was supposed to be due like now. And their formatting is really assy. They're not paying very much. It's one of these projects where, I can't talk about it too much because of NDA, but it's got an involvement where I'm not really even sure if this is ever going to be televised. You know what I mean? It seems to be... I can't tell if it's just like for historical documentation or if it's an actual documentary. There's like so many hours of these interviews with old Hollywood money. So, because it's appreciating them, there's a lot of money being thrown behind it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it has that flavor. Like, everybody is like some big, fancy, schmancy, old school, 30 years in the business director. And they have the worst diction I have ever heard in my life. The sort of people that, like, everything they say is a verbal tick and a stutter and a fucking false start, which, if you don't know what that means, it's like... So if you start a sentence and you're trying to make a point, and then you're making another point, and then you're making another point, but they were all different points, but you're making them, like... I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like... And then we were... But then we... And stuff and things. Do you know what I mean? Like, where you get a lot of very jilted sentences. And... It's the sort of conversation where if you're two people that know what you're talking about, you're fine, because you're two people, that know what you're talking about, because you've been doing this job for 30 years. For 30 years. Well, guess what? I haven't. And my job, apparently, is to remove all of these things. And at a certain point, like 1 o'clock this morning, when I was editing, I realized that if I removed all of those things, this one guy, literally, I wouldn't have any fucking dialogue for him at all. Because all of his questions were pretty much like, oh, when the, and the stuff. And it was like, and I've conducted conversations like this, but not in a fucking interview. And it's really annoying because every inch of this format is really assy and very particular details, and I just want to scream. I really just want to scream because I just keep failing so much at it, and it's so very particular. And I don't blame the people that I'm working for because, like, clearly they're being fucked around. But everything is so particular. And if they were paying for that level of particular, I'd be like, yeah, awesome. And the only thing that's good about this is it gives me more experience doing, like, actual media transcription instead of just plain-ass general. And this, there is some rush work, I think, is going to be happening with this job. And it's like, okay, that is awesome. But you know what? And I'd love to get some ass broadcast work because that gets cleaned the fuck up. But right now, I hate so much. And I was at the gym and I was hating so much that I rage lifted really badly. I hurt everywhere too. I don't know. I think I'm just having an angry day, and I just needed to get this out because there's nothing that I hate worse than somebody who's asking for something, and then, they're really, they seem to know what they want, but it is so particular, and also they expect that you're reading their mind. And, like, when you do what I do, a lot of a lot of how to know what you're doing is correct is based on samples and things to know if you're doing it correctly. Well, guess what? The sample files will contain these verbal tics and these stutters and the ums and the ahs, but it says at the top of the thing that that's not supposed to be there. And like, what do you want me to do? And then there's like 4 different samples, and they're all slightly different. And it's like, so the client couldn't make up their goddamn mind, could they? They couldn't. And I'm just so angry. And I just wish that when people knew what they wanted, that they would articulate that. But clearly, this person cannot articulate shit because I have heard them speak, and they cannot articulate anything. And I'm saying that being me, who is completely inarticulate, and it's frustrating because this is clearly a service that they require for whatever it is they're doing, and it's just, you know what, just think about it, breathe, if you put as much detail into, oh hell, you know what, no, if you even put as much detail into asking the questions, but no, whoever wrote the questions isn't actually the one asking the questions, and the person asking the questions is just sort of, and the worst part is, like, there's certain stuff where, like, half of it shouldn't even count as, like, a stutter or a verbal tic, but I've only got the audio file, I haven't got the video, so it'll look like that because there'll be some sort of gesture or a hand motion or something, and I just... I think maybe I'm just tired. It's not even that I'm overworked. It's not even that. It is just, this is just so, and I hate Excel, and I want to find the person who made Excel, and I want to beat them to death with a tablet. For some reason, that gives me the most rewarding mental picture. And I'm just, I have had to do so many corrections on these files. And this company has, a really, really high QA scoring system. And I am shitting myself that all of these little fuck-ups are going to add to me being sacked because of this fucking format. And I'm just praying to God. Like, even if I take a huge hit monetarily because I needed help with the editing from the QA chick, even if I take a huge hit and I still get to keep working for them, I will be happy. But I'm really enjoying the work, and I need the money, and I really can't. You know what? It's like being fired would just be one more hit I cannot take right now. I might be going crazy. Yep. So, that's my Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going? Please tell me better. Please. Somebody just tell me something good. I'm gonna post this now, and the other videos that I've actually filmed, but I haven't posted. They're even uploaded. I just haven't, because of this and running around, I have not had 5 minutes, and if I don't get any work in any time today, you know what? I'm gonna go out tonight and go to the other knitting group because I need to laugh inappropriately and drink some terrible Starbucks coffee. Oh, and my dog has one of those oinking pigs now. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm so sorry. I normally keep all this shit in, and all of a sudden I find myself ranting at people over the last few days. It was like, that's not me. Normally I just keep this in. I try so hard to keep it all in and not, but I don't know. And I haven't even managed to find work. So the companies up here are insane, and they don't pay shit. Most of the American companies I've found so far that do this kind of work, other than the one I'm already working for, are either huge fucking scams or they only hire Americans, and working for any of the offshore companies is insane because I'm not going to do this work for 30 cents a minute. I couldn't, even if you typed 120 words a minute and everything was absolutely perfect, it doesn't make financial sense, and then they'd expect to pay you through PayPal, and then they'd probably still fuck you over. Because they can. And I'm just frustrated. Hello, dog. Do you want to say hello to the internet? She cares not for you, internet. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm gonna go now.